Greetings, Commanders! This video is going to be about repurposing. It can be a bit long-winded. It's a math video, a spreadsheet video. I try not to go too deep in it because the generalization is all you really need, and here it is in a nutshell. And mostly people are asking about the new Tier 12, so that's what I want to talk about. The new Tier 12 you can't evolve old Tier 11 into the new Tier 12, so you can either build it straight up or you can repurpose other troops. So if you want to build the new Tier 12, the best way to do it is using a previous troop, preferably one that you don't have to waste an unlimited crystal on. But unfortunately, I have a ton of resources tied into Tier 11. So what I'll end up doing is repurposing my Tier 11, and I have to spend 1.5 million worth of troops to repurpose. You'll notice that this amount of troops here always adds up to 1.5 million. Whether it's Tier 2 or Tier 3, they just add more troops to it till it's 1.5 million. And then you have to pay that troop value, the original value, because they get eaten, they get consumed in this repurpose, plus this 750,000 cash, which I equate to about the same value as parts and food. And then 5 unlimited crystal. So at the end of the day yes, it's very expensive on unlimited crystal. Unlimited crystals are a limiting reagent in our game. They do cost real money, or they're really hard to get, as opposed to the food and parts. Now, repurposing is cheaper. It's actually cheaper to repurpose, but that unlimited crystal cost is no joke. And when you're building massive armies, it does add up into the tens of thousands of, definitely thousands of dollars worth of unlimited crystals. But if you're not going to use your old Tier 9 or your Tier 10 or your Tier 11, and you want to go straight to the new Tier 12 Plus, the best thing to do is repurpose it. Yes, it's going to cost crystals, but troops you don't use and never use are just wasted minerals, wasted research, wasted assets that could be invested into troops you use. So it's worth doing. Now, there are some caveats to this. Remember, Tier 11 to Tier 12 is cheaper, and I'll talk about that later in this video. But in general, either build the troops straight up for the cheapest amount of hyperspace crystals, or repurpose all your old troops that you're not using anyway, even though it costs more unlimited crystals. That way you can get value out of them and save resources to just build your other troops straight up. So I hope that's a good too long didn't read. Let's get into the longer version of this video. Oh yeah, the new Patreon gifts are mailing next month. So if you signed up for Patreon, the first of the 12 Zenith series are coming. This was just mailed. Patreon handles all this, so check that out. Does it say 12 of 12 there? That is a poster ready to frame, comes in a nice little tube there. All right, enough plugging Patreon. If you're interested in Patreon, check the description or at the end of this video, patreon.com. That's what funds the channel, boys. Now, if you clicked on this video, you're expecting a simple or complicated breakdown on whether you should be repurposing troops or not. And there's really just two camps on this. And I've been thinking about how to do this video, and I want to present it in a very simplified form, and then I want to presented a little more complex form, and I just couldn't get the layout the way I wanted it, so I'm going to do it like this. First and foremost, if you are going to be using the new repurpose feature because you want to get rid of a ton of your Tier 5 or Tier 7 or Tier 9 because you have Tier 10, 11, or 12 now, you should do it, okay? The answer is you should do it. Pretty much always. If you ever watch my video on evolving, you should always evolve your armies once you're in Tier 9 plus. Once you're in Tier 6, you should always evolve to Tier 7. Never build Tier 7 straight up. And then before that, really, you shouldn't build a big army of Tier 4, Tier 5, Tier 6, or Tier 4, Tier 5. Tier 2, maybe. Tier 3, maybe. So that gets a little bit complicated. But when you get to advanced troops, and what a lot of players are asking is, do I build Tier 12 straight up? Do I evolve Tier 11 to Tier 12? Or do I evolve Tier 11 to Tier 12, or build Tier 11, evolve it to Tier 12, and then repurpose Tier 12 to Tier 12 plus? Melt, what do I do? Well, here's the answer. The easiest way to look at it is, I think the most players are going to be asking, once they have Tier 11, it's always best to evolve to Tier 12. A lot of players don't know this, but it is actually 72% of the resources to evolve a Tier 11 into a Tier 12. The problem is you can't evolve a Tier 11 into a Tier 12 plus. So if you look at my Eye of Greed here, or my Transcender, it'll only take one Eye of Greed, 420,000 food parts, and then 42,000 cash. Cash we consider equal to food and parts because that's what it about trades for in the market right now. Plus you lose a crystal. See the hyperspace crystal? It still costs the crystal, but it destroys the one you had for the Eye of Greed. But the actual total price is cheaper than building one straight up, which is amazing, especially if you're building a massive army. Now you got to consider that there is a lost crystal along the way. So just for real reference sake here, Food parts plus cash is 809. Oh Jesus, what is this? 882,000 total resources, and they're about worth the same. 882,000, right? So then you add that on top of what it costs, and this is the buy one get one event for half troop costs, by the way. That's why I'm doing this video. You add it to this price here, so 882,000 plus 660,000 plus 660,000 plus 66. So it comes out to 2.268 million. And a hyperspace crystal, or unlimited crystal, okay? So you are actually, instead of paying $3 million a piece, which I'm going to show you right now, you're only paying $2.26 million. So normally building them straight up is 1.5, 1.5, and 150,000. So it's 72% cheaper to evolve a tier 11 to tier 12. You should always evolve a tier 11 to tier 12 if you're going to be building a massive army. And the only cost is one unlimited crystal. Now, unlimited crystals are valuable, but one is not that bad. The problem is you can't go from tier 11 to tier 12 plus. So a lot of players are asking the question, especially infantry commanders, really, because Vega hits hard enough with old tier 12. People are still using them. Old tier 12 on walkers is still really good. You haven't really seen Pictors come around. Full Metal does just fine with the HP accuracy build on the old tier 12. But infantry commanders, these are the guys that are looking at this video going, okay, Melt, what do I do? And I know this is getting complicated, right? It's getting complicated. But like I said at the beginning, in general, if you have unused troops, that is wasted resources. They're sitting resources, and it's always better to evolve them. Now, there's a secret number in this repurposing tool here, and that secret number is 1.5 million for tier 12 plus. So if you look at tier 12 plus here, let's see, let's grab this guy. So if I want to take my tier 11 and repurpose it to the new tier 12, which costs the same as the old tier 12, you'll notice that it takes 2 Eye of Greeds and 750,000 cash and 5 unlimited crystals. That's a lot of unlimited crystals, but it's not hyperspace crystals at least. But I'm going to be losing the 2 Eye of Greed unlimited crystals plus the 5 for building the new one. And when you build one by itself straight up, I believe it's only 1 hyperspace crystal. So I could save on the hyperspace crystals, but yeah, I'm losing 7 unlimited crystals. Now, at the end of the day, I will gladly do that because I don't have a use for 5,000 tier 11. I built a ton of them so I could do Ace and Battle and Galactic Battle, but now that I have tier 12 plus, I want to move on. And I want the regular tier 12 for a little SWE insurance, and I want to get rid of my tier 11 entirely. Now, I've been evolving my tier 11 to my tier 12 because, like I said, it's cheaper. But you can't evolve tier 12 to tier 12 plus, and you can't evolve tier 11 to tier 12 plus. I'm sorry. That is correct. Yeah, you can't evolve anything into tier 12 plus yet, right? One day they'll allow it, and then this video will be useless. But the point is that what is the cost of evolving into, or repurposing into a tier 12 plus? Well, the answer is it doesn't really vary that much because the cost of building the troops is all the same. What you're using is 1.5 million troops worth of whatever. So if you want to do the tier 2 airships, 1,200 tier 2 airships adds up to 1.5 million food parts and cash combined or gas combined, whatever. It's the same. It's literally using the base value resource cost of those troops up to 1.5 million plus this number here, 750,000, and the unlimited crystals. Now, what's nice about evolving the tier 2 is you don't lose the other crystals that you had in your tier 11, but it doesn't matter because the tier 11 is here. The resources are invested, a substantial amount of resources, and you want them back. You want to use them. So the math comes out to this: 1.5 million for 2 Eye of Greeds, which is 2 unlimited crystals, plus 750,000 gold or cash, which comes out to 2.25 million. And what was the base cost of building a tier 12? 3 million, right? So you're getting it for just over half price, but you are paying the 5 unlimited crystals, which sucks. At the end of the day, you probably... So I guess what I'm trying to get to is the main question I've always had about this was, should I be building tier 11, evolving it to tier 11, and then repurposing it to tier 12 because it's cheaper on resources? Or should I just be building the tier 12 plus straight up? Well, the answer is if you don't have anything to repurpose or evolve, build the tier 12 plus straight up. But if you have troops you're not going to use anymore, you can repurpose them, and it's worth doing. Just know that unlimited crystals are the limiting factor in our research game, right? The research really is what separates the biggest players from the rest. And resources are important, but you know, you got alts. You can send resources to other members in your guild. There's resources free on the map. You can get resources pretty cheap, free, and easy every single day. Unlimited crystals, in general, cost money, or you got to work really hard in events to get them. But these other super late game researches, I'll show you. I'm working on, what's the hardest one I've got to do right now? Hyperspace infantry? No, that one takes not unlimited crystals. But here we go, 45,000 unlimited crystals to get my advanced defense up. I really want my advanced defense up, but if I blow 10,000 crystals on troops, it's going to put me, you know, $1,000 behind in getting closer to that research. So I know, guys. I was going to bust out the spreadsheet and kind of explain the old evolve stuff, but I did a video on this, on evolving up to tier 7. Never evolve your tier 7 and 8 to tier 9. It's just super inefficient. Now you just repurpose it. Yeah, the tier 12 plus, if you don't have anything to repurpose or you don't want to get rid of your tier 11 and tier 12, you just, you know, literally just build it straight up. And it's more expensive than regular tier 12 because you can't evolve it. But that's just it. I guess one more thing I'll cover is, obviously I'm going to have to repurpose all my old tier 12 here into tier 12 plus. And when I do that, I'm actually going to be losing, you can actually get 2. You get 2 for the price of 1 tier 12 old tier 12, and that's because it comes down to that magic 1.5 million resources number. But when I do that, it's 5 unlimited crystals every time. So I don't know, I feel like I'm beating a dead horse here. Bottom line is if you're doing this, if you have a guildmate or doing this, and or if this is way ahead of your pay grade here, just know that troops you never use, that you're never going to use, are always better evolved and repurposed, with the exception of using tier 7 and tier 8 and evolving it to tier 9. That is incredibly inefficient. Repurpose that stuff. In general, it seems like repurposing is going to be the way to go. And what's great about this is at the end of the day, it balances the game's economy. Electricity, gas, cash is now being more useful again, where food and parts was pretty much trading everything 2 to 1. It was pretty one-sided for a long time. And now there's going to be massive armies transitioning from old tier 12 to new tier 12, and it's going to be burning through all this excess stuff. So, did I miss anything? Did I not cover something right? Did I missay something? Check in the comments below. If anyone catches something or puts something good, I'll pin it and contribute. Yeah, if you got anything to say, please put it in the comments below. That helps the video and it helps the knowledge base of the game. That's why we do this, right? And to make sweet Ark of War stuff. Can I show something off? I don't know when this video is going live, but the Patreon 3-month gift, I decided to do the number 12 of the Zenith series art project. I'll probably talk about this in the news, but I got my posters today. So if you do Patreon for 3 months as a gift, just for being a member for 3 months, this comes free, no extra charge. How cool is that? It's printed on like heavy-duty Epson print paper, and it's the Zenith series. It's custom-made art, right? Custom commissioned. Okay, I'll stop showing that off. Anyway, if you want to learn more about that, check out the Patreon at the end of the video or in the description below. And thanks for being a part of this community, right? This is what we do every day.